So welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the Booze by Rob production facilities here, located in, you know it, historic Nashville, Tennessee. We're glad you're back. Things are changing. We're getting a little more stable. Things are starting to flow. We now have furniture for our live studio audience, should we ever have a live studio audience. We're working on that part. Soon there will be a refrigerator, if they can deliver the refrigerator. It rained yesterday, or we would have a refrigerator. A little crusty about that. So, nonetheless, thinking about what great cocktails do we want to make. And started thinking back was, well, what's your favorite cocktail? I'm like, or well, what have you had the most of in your life? And I think it's got to be the margarita. And I started thinking on that, and my mind goes to, dwelling in things. I was like, I don't think I've ever met someone who doesn't like a margarita. I'm sure they're out there, but they're just not friends of ours. So we were traveling a few months ago with some great friends, and we went to a Mexican restaurant, and everybody had margaritas, and on the recipe, or not on the recipe, on the menu, they had a Mezcal Margarita. Now, Mezcal is in the tequila family because that's the base ingredient of a margarita, but Mezcal is made differently. They're cousins. It's made from agave. It is smoked underground for days to get the piñas, the agave plant, to break down, to then be able to cut it into a part they can use, so it then gets sugar that then gets distilled. And so if you like peated scotch, and I love peated scotches, this was a really good transition from a scotch to a mezcal. There's a tequila flavor to it, but with a smoky overtone. So I figured I would make a smoky margarita with mezcal. A couple interesting ingredients. So let's just go through it all. And glassware here, we've got, El Grande. If you're making, times 4, we've got one that's about times 3. And then the one we're going to be making tonight, I don't know who made these. They're cool. They got a little cactus on the bottom. Who cares? But let's start with the mezcal. Cool thing about this company is all the labels are different. They work with local artists to have artwork that is unique for the front of their bottles. This is Mezcal Verde, and it's from Amaras, Amaras. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it's made in Oaxaca, I believe is how you say that, in Mexico. 20% of the net sales contributed to sustainability projects. Look this company up. It's really pretty cool, and I'm pretty impressed with them. Next in our ingredient, we're going to have a triple sec. Now, triple sec is an orange liqueur, and this time we're using Naranja. Naranja is a Mexican orange liqueur. Kind of makes sense instead of going to France or a different company to get an orange. We got fresh lime juice. You could use simple syrup, but I like to use this agave nectar. So simple syrup is just sweet. It doesn't have much flavor to it other than sweet. This is sweet, yes, but it also has flavor, and I like that. So, and then the last thing, I found this cool company. I'll post a link down. I got it on Amazon. Lava Craft Cocktail Jalapeno Citrus Salt. So it's the regular salt you'd put on a margarita glass, but this has jalapeno, lemon, lime, and then, of course, the sea salt, and there's no bad ingredients and stuff like that. So we're actually going to start the cocktail by rimming the glass. So we're going to open that up, grab our standard normal size margarita glass, and I'm going to use the side of a lime just to coat the glass, because you're looking for the moisture to attract the salt, but you might as well have it have a flavor to it as well, instead of just have, like water or something like that. But you could use water, it's just fine. So that'll be ready to go. Cover this back up. And we're going to start making our cocktail. Been listening to a bunch of podcasts and listened to a bunch of different opinions on ice. I never knew there could be so much complexities on ice. So something I've been trying is right now I'm going to start making the drink without ice in the tin. The reason for that is I want to be able to control the dilution of it. I'll still be able to get it cold, but I don't want the ice cubes that we're going to put in here to start immediately melting when we start putting different stuff in there. So we are going to start with a base ingredient, and which brings up a different thing of like, well, what order do you put the stuff in a shaker and a mixing glass? And a lot of people will do the cheapest ingredient first through the most expensive being the last. Being, if you screwed it up, you're going to throw out the cheap ingredients instead of the expensive ingredients. And I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense. Also, a secondary reason is so the agave nectar is very molasses in consistency, very thick, very syrupy. And there's a bunch still left in that jigger that I'm going to try and rinse out. This is an ounce. So it's going to be an ounce of agave, an ounce of lime, and I'm kind of rinsing it as I go. Still, there's agave in there. This is going to be an ounce of the Naranja or a triple sec that you can find. This is inexpensive and very tasty. And lastly, we're going to flip over our jigger and we're going to use 2 ounces of this. If you can see the picture, there's a guy here, he's got his arms cut off, they're hold on with chains, and he's got a giant cactus. You go with it. And yes, it's where it is. So 2 ounces of mezcal. Does it have to be this mezcal? No, I really like this one. It's very tasty. Okay, so now nothing's been diluted, they're just starting to combine. So I'm going to use some larger ice cubes, these guys right here. I'm going to use 3 of them. Okay. Now remember, gentle. That's all you need. I don't know if you can see, but there's condensation forming on the metal. That quickly, this is a cold cocktail. All right. Of course, you know, every time. Here we go. They'll come off. You just got to work at it sometimes. All right. We got our glass. You know it. It's the Hawthorne strainer. Forgot to mention, this contraption here is called a Boston shaker. If you're looking for these things, I'll put links for everything below. You know, I always do. But here we go. Let's pour into this little cactus glass. That is perfect looking. Yeah, get it all. All right, folks. Here we have the spicy Mezcal Margarita. Salute. Stay safe. Enjoy. I love the smoky flavor to it. You've got those traditional flavors of a margarita with the salt that has different flavors in it. The mezcal elevates it. If you're one to try things and you like margaritas, and if you don't, please, you know, go away. But this is fantastic. Cheers, folks. Stay safe. Enjoy. I love that.